Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you guys are so very welcome. Just yesterday, I uploaded a video about TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, of which you guys loved. Turning around, trying to make dinner, TJ Holmes and Robach have now lawyered up. I got so many DMs from you guys telling me, Fumi, please come back and tell us what you think about this. So here we are. Let me recite what TMZ, because this came from TMZ, has to say about the matter. TJ Holmes and Amy Robach lawyer up for a possible lawsuit. Race could be a factor. ABC could be staring down the barrel of a lawsuit if it fires or pushes TJ Holmes and Amy Robach out of their anchor jobs, because we are told the two have lawyered up big time, and if it comes to a litigation, race might be an issue. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ ABC has not clued in with TJ or Amy as to why they were taken off the air a month ago after their romantic relationship surfaced. We're told they're confused and frustrated why the ABC News brass at first told people internally there would be no disciplinary action, and then the company did an about face. Our sources say Amy has hired Andrew Bretler, one of the best civil lawyers in Hollywood, and TJ has lawyered up with Eric George, a legal force who has handled numerous celebrity cases. Aha! That's all I gotta say. Aha! Alrighty, my darlings. Here's the thing. TJ is feeling very entitled. He's feeling very entitled with himself. Just the other day, Amy said that she did not care if she got her job back. She didn't care. She has TJ now, and that is her world. She will figure it out as far as she's concerned, and she really will get another job. I truly believe that. I believe that she's got enough cushion money to go the distance right now. TJ, on the other hand, is already feeling weary in Miami, as we saw. He's already feeling angst. His armor has been removed. His armor is what? His armor is his job. As much as he's making cutesy-coo with Amy for now, he wants to get back to work, because that is who he is. Because the narcissism in him is letting him know that he can't play this kind of beach life. It just does not feed his ego. You are asking why ABC hasn't brought you back, that you are kind of frustrated. Well, I know TJ is definitely frustrated. You really don't know why? Okay, let me give you a shopping list of reasons why. You forced their hand. You made liars out of them and out of the employees that knew about the relationship. You were flagrant about the relationship, and nobody said anything. Silence is also a form of betrayal to your spouses. Andrew came up in there, and he had 1 or 2 segments with Amy, his wife, Andrew Shue, that is. And you can imagine how foolish he might feel now, because people knew about the relationship. People knew about what was going on the office floor, and nobody said anything. It's a form of betrayal to Andrew. Why? Because Amy, you walked through those doors and you said, I'm a married woman. This is my husband. You've been there for how long? TJ, you've been there since 2014. So we know merrily your wife has come up on those office floors for a couple of times, for parties, for events, for all whatnot. There are people, office staff, that know your wife, and they kept quiet because it wasn't their place, one. They felt it wasn't their business, two. But the loyalty really was to you, or they didn't want to get the blowback from you, so they kept quiet. Hence, you forced their hand. If you had an affair anywhere else, but the office, then it would be a completely different situation. On top of which, there was too much distraction because you are high profile, because you guys are to report the news. You're not supposed to be the news. That is one. So you were a distraction. So they said, you know what? Let things kind of calm down. Let them get them off the air, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. And I believe that GMA was very sincere about that. You know what? We'll bring them back. But taking you off, then the whispers became louder because TJ, allegedly, you're difficult to work with. You treat the crew in a very disparaging way. You shout. And so once you were away, the big bad wolf, then all of the little children came up to say, he did this, he did that, he's been doing this. And so it came to the surface that this was not new, that you having this affair with Amy wasn't new, that as a matter of fact, you've had a couple of relationships, on top of which you had a 3-year affair while you were still married to Marilyn, while Marilyn was coming up here and we were giving her Christmas chocolates and all kinds of other treats. You actually had an affair up in there. You weaponized your position and you were having relationships with these women. I am not saying that it's not consensual. What I'm saying is that you knew that you were the one. And that is what is sad, TG. You're a handsome man. You're a good-looking man. And you're fantastic at your job. And yes, you do have on-air presence. I would watch you. You are fabulous from head to toe. And I love your style of dress. You had it. You had the beautiful wife. You have the beautiful family. You have your daughter. You had stability. You had a career. And you threw it all away because of your narcissism and because you can't keep it in your pants. Instead, you should have done an about turn. Who is your PR? You guys should hire me. You should have hired me in the beginning when you had this relationship going on. Because like I said, what you should have done, you and Marilyn should have united together and released a statement to say that the relationship has ended, but we love each other, we love our daughter, we have respect for each other, and we'll move forward with care and consideration of each other. Amy and Andrew, you guys should have done the same. That way, we are all keeping up with you because you're what? You're out there, you're high profile, we see you on TV. Your business, it really is their business. That's what they tell me here as a YouTuber, that for me, if you're here and you're bringing out Christina every other day and we don't see Christina anymore, we're gonna ask, where is Christina, Fumi? What happened? And they're right, they're justified, and that's what happened. And then I would have advised you, go to your place of work and tell them, this is the relationship, this is what's going on. In essence, you know, we don't need it, but we would love your blessing. Then they will say, you know what, how classy, what beautiful individuals. We do wish you well. You would have been on-air personality gold because you know what, now that this was out, they would have had you out there together to do all kinds of other topics about relationships, relationship goals, how to go about having blended families, how to maneuver relationships in the workplace. But there wasn't sincerity there. There was sneaking around. There were lies. And Marilyn said that she had no idea that this was what was going on because you, TJ, were telling her that, you know what, let's still try and work this out. You have a daughter, a 9-year-old girl. You should think of what you do because you're showing examples to a young girl. Amy, the same thing. You've got 2 beautiful girls. You had a first marriage with Tim, of whom Tim is the father to your 2 girls, and you brought your 2 daughters. Andrew Shaw had 3 sons, and you had that blended family, and you had that dynamic. And now you've thrown everything to the wind because you want to be with a man who is clearly showing that this is not what he wanted all the way. So what do? You turn around and tell your girls, oh, have a good day at school. And they now have in turn have to go to school, have to see the faces of their schoolmates, of their friends, of their other schoolmates' parents, of the teachers, because they're reading about you in TMZ and they're reading about you in Shade Room. Shoot, because you know what? Your man is black now. So you got all the brothers and sisters leaning in to your daughters in school. I tell you a little story. Listen to the story. There was a man who had passed away, and during his life he was very, very rich, but he played around and he had a bad temper, and he married about 3, 4, 5 times, but he was very successful and he was wonderful at his career. He had 2 sons, and as they came down the hill from the funeral service, there was a gentleman on the other side, and the 2 sons were very different. One had his family and his 2 little children, and then the other son came down the hill, and you could see that he was beyond tipsy. And so the man asked the first brother, "Why are you the way that you are? With your family, living quietly in the country, with your successful career?" And he replied, "It is because of what I saw." Then he asked the other son, who came alone, hasn't been able to have a job, he's married and divorced, and so he came down, and you can see that he's had 1 or 2 bottles of beer. And the man asked him, "Why are you the way that you are?" And he replied, "It is what I was shown. I am always about the children because they are innocent, because they did not come into this family, this relationship willingly. You brought them here. Always think of their childhood. And always think of the impact that you will have of their adulthood, because it does start with their childhood. Because your beautiful daughters, Amy, one is being shown and the other one is seeing all of this. And that applies to you also, to TJ. I am so happy. I am so happy because you know what? The God that we pray to, that I pray to on a daily basis, He got us. Because I know that Marilee said, you know what? My day came sooner than later. That you know what? She got some kind of justice for the way that TJ has treated her like garbage in this marriage. And she has tried like a pressure cooker to seal it and conceal it. That today is her day. She does not have to do anything at all, because our Lord up there, the architect of all of our lives, said, you know what? I got this. And that's why I always tell you guys, let go and what? Let God. Because He got this. Because TJ, you have been doing this. It's not new. It's not new. If this was a one-off and this was all packaged beautifully and you had taken your time and you had in essence taken us on this journey with you, this would not be a situation. You would have still been at your job at GMA. Damn near, they would have even promoted you. Yes, they would have. So when you're talking about you want to lawyer up, I would be quiet. I would be very quiet. Because on the contrary, you should have been humbled. You should have turned around and said, GMA, we apologize. You should have taken that opportunity when they brought you back for a little bit, where you were saying, this is the weekend. I can't believe that it's the weekend, that it's Friday already, because I wanted to go on and on and on. No.
You know, it's too bad it's Friday.
Is it?
It's been a great week. Just want this one to keep going.
Speak for yourself.
Take it all in.
I am very excited about the weekend.
Bad PR. That's if you had it. You should have taken the opportunity and said, ladies and gentlemen, we have been here with you every morning for the past 14 years. As we report the news, some way, somehow, we are the news. And we want to come together to apologize if it has made one or two or a couple of you uncomfortable. It wasn't our intention, and we are human and we make mistakes. And so we would like to apologize and hope that you do understand that these are matters of the heart, rather private, and we would want your support more than any other time to carry us through this challenging time where we are too still trying to discover ourselves. Woo! It would be fabulous. It would have been what? It would have been fabulous. Then would have said, well, you know what? None of us are perfect and all of us fall short. Yes, we do. I'm not perfect. And I don't think that you should be hung by the stakes. It was the way you went about it. It was reckless. It was selfish. It was inconsiderate. And you made people liars and you stifled them because of the way you went about it. That is why they said, brah, you can go out the door. And on top of all of that, Amy, you were friends with Marilee. That is a no-go. That's a code that you should know, and we don't have to spell it out for you. So people are also feeling bad for the spouses because, quite as is kept, you kind of sort of didn't tell them. The romance and the affair started in the marriage. That's a no-go. That is low. That is low. That is where women, as women, we should support each other. Amy, you were there laughing with Marilee. Marilee had no idea. Marilee was even thanking you and saying the times when she was challenged with baby care, that you actually brought your daughter over to take care of hers, only for you to turn around and stab her in the back. TJ, the same thing with Andrew. So now we are having empathy with Andrew. We are having empathy that Andrew's father died. We are having empathy because Andrew has spoken out also against Amy and how unsupportive she was when his father died and how supportive he was when she had breast cancer. But it's all about her. It's not about the family. It's not about the unit. We're getting all of this and it should have come from you. And so what? GMA has to clean this all up. And Gail King is in support of this. They said fire them. It's not about race. They fired the two of you. They let the two of you go. If they had brought Amy back and said, Amy, you stay, and TJ, you go. And I kind of sort of see that because TJ, you're having affairs in the workplace. Not one, not two, not three. And you're having for 3 years at a time, where I think she was a producer. She left and went to ABC because it was a little bit uncomfortable for her. Maybe she saw you sleeping with yet somebody else. Then I can understand that. Because at the end of the day, TJ, and I said it in the last episode, you're black. You're cafe latte, but you're black. Because guess what? Your bosses are white. They invited you to the evening gala and gave you a seat at the table. You had hors d'oeuvres, you had the main meal, you had dessert. What did you do? You turned around and went to go and sleep with their daughters and nieces. That's what you did. It's not decent. And they don't want that in their workspace, because if they allow it inadvertently, they're saying that is okay for everybody else to do, because what? You're showing a bad example. And so now their hands are tied. If somebody else do it, they'll say, oh, wait. But TJ did it. And I heard from the grapevine that you also say, you know what? If they fire me, I'm going to tell about all the other affairs and relationships in this place. So guess what? You're a squealer too. It's not looking good. And TJ, to be honest, after all that has happened, do you really think that you want to go back? Think about it. You want to go back with whispers and the hostility because you see your tail has been cut off. So all that attitude that you had before, it's finished now. All of a sudden, you don't have that privilege. All that I'm entitled to skip the line and, bring my coffee to my room and bring the breakfast. And all of that is going to stop because people now are going to start treating you exactly how they truly felt about you without the mask. You don't even have the same lawyers. You should have the same lawyers to show how unified you are. You have disabled your Instagram accounts. Why, if you've got nothing to hide? It's because you don't want the blowback, because you can't handle the blowback. Because I truly believe, TJ, that you do not want this relationship to be anything serious. But Amy has made it serious. If you were serious about this relationship, you know what? Let me stop there. Do you know her favorite color? Do you know her favorite meal? Have you spoken to her mom or her dad? Do you know where she grew up? Do you know what her insecurities were as a little girl? What was her favorite subject in school? You don't know this woman. You've not even asked these questions. I bet you that you do not know all of these questions and more. I'm sure that the children, her 2 daughters, are yet to meet you or have little contact with you. Because this was not a serious relationship. Because you would have taken it slower. Because you would have respected her and the relationship and her children. This is something that you've always done. But you see, like they say back in the day, that day does come. And God has designed it in such a way, you can't turn left, you can't turn right. And you put yourself in here. You had everything, TJ. You had everything. And look at what you did with it. So if I were you, I would really be quiet. TJ, take your severance pay and go and quickly see if you can get a job, anything, something at BET. That's what, and you can bring Amy with you because you know what she said, she don't mind. That's what I would say. Right here, right now, you're making it a little bit more sticky and icky for yourself. Enjoy Miami. Enjoy the sun. All right? Enjoy the vacation. There's work to do. But if I were you, your lawyers and all of that, I will go right back to the drawing board because you're going in the opposite direction. Don't push your luck. Darlings, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Give me some super thanks. Do we live? Do we love, my darlings? This blouse is by Zara. Yes, my darlings. And it's a pussy bow, and I just give it, for the extra drama. And these earrings right here are a wonderful gift from my bestie loops, Christina. All of my loves, my darlings, and I will see you I'll see you sooner than later. Mwah.